so that you can watch later. All right, we are live. So my name is Monica Lopez, and joining with me tonight is my sister, Veronica Cavalcante. Before we get started, I want you guys to know that this is a super laid back setting. I'm just a mom of three. I'm literally like, I have like a little cheap IKEA desk that I have here in the corner of my living room. I run my entire business, if not from here, from the kitchen counter, and sometimes from my bedroom. But nothing fancy. I've been doing this now for 7 years. Like I said, just a regular old mom. I'll tell you a little bit more about my story, but my kids and my husband are probably gonna walk in the door any second now from football practice. So I promise you, super laid back setting. You're gonna get a little taste of my life, I'm pretty sure, in the next couple of minutes. But tonight, we wanna talk to you about the coaching opportunity. We also wanna talk to you about our team, Team Diesel Core, so you can get to know a little bit more about the family you're joining, because it really is a family. It's a community, it's a tribe. We are mostly comprised of women. I know that when I talk about the business and I recruit new coaches onto my team, I love to work with, the busy mom, the busy woman, the person that needs something in their life to connect them to a bigger purpose, especially so that person that wants to feel confident again in their skin, maybe lost themselves along the way. Like, that's my tribe, and that's who I'm constantly talking to. So you're going to be joining a team now that is about 8 years old. So I started coaching almost 8 years ago. And when I came into the business, I honestly had zero intentions of growing a business. I just wanted to feel better about myself. And as I tell you about my story, you're going to pick up on how it evolved for me. And I want you to sit back and listen to that, and listen with an open mind and an open heart, because I'm sure tonight you're here and you're going to connect to some part of my journey, some part of my story. And today it could be you being that mom that just needed change to feel better about herself, zero intentions of actually building a business, but just maybe saving money with a discount. Or you could be that mom that you'll hear about me talk about in a second that wanted to fund the Target runs. And then you could be that person that just needs big changes, maybe has, run into a brick wall in life and needs something to happen. So with that being said, let me tell you a little bit more about my story, and just listen in with an open mind, open heart, because this really is a life-changing opportunity. And you're going to hear my side, and you're also going to hear my sister's. So Monica Lopez, 34 years old. I have 3 kids, Jason, Jackson, and me, and I've been married to my husband for 10 years. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary, but we've been together 16 years. I always mess up the numbers. But anyway, I grew up overweight as a child, and I always had problems with my weight. And it was around the middle school age that I kind of got it under control, because I was introduced to a weight training class, and that's where my love for fitness came in, because it was like around 13 or 14 where I learned like I had control of this. Up until then, I had a big, generous love for food, and nobody stopped me, and I wasn't very active. But once I hit that class and I learned, like, okay, I could still have my, the food. I just need to figure out the nutrition aspect. And if I, get into a gym, learn how to work out, and put in that work and that sweat equity into my body, that, I would see a return. And it was around that age that I fell in love with fitness. I remember having my very first job, and it was to pay my gym membership, because I used to take the bus to the gym. Like, that's what I did after school. But fast forward to now becoming a mom. The first child that I had, I got pregnant at 20 years old. And by 21, he was already here. In that pregnancy, I did not take care of myself. Instead of eating for 2, I ate for like 10. I was 20 years old. So I remember, like, I'll never forget laying down on the sofa with like a giant bowl of cereal every day after my college classes, and just eating my cereal on the couch with zero care for, eating balance during pregnancy, and so on and so forth. So I gained a lot of weight in that pregnancy. I gained almost 80 pounds. And at the time, I was, again, fit, tiny. That drastic change caused me to have postpartum issues like diastasis recti. I have a lot of loose skin. Nothing went back the way it was supposed to be. And for a 21-year-old who had just had their first baby, and most of her friends were still living at home, were still out having a good time, going to clubs and enjoying their tiny little perfect bodies, I was dealing with postpartum issues. All of a sudden reverting back to being, a young child, being teased and bullied for her weight, so being self-conscious now in the adult version as a mom. And if you're on this call right now and you're a mom, you know how life-changing it is to have your first child, much less at 21 years old, how hard it is to adjust to your new roles as a mom. And when I tried to lose weight after that first baby, I did everything under the sun. And some things I'm even embarrassed about, like laxatives. I used to drink those pills that they would say would remove all the fat from your body. Like, I fell for that. I even did those cookie diet. Do you remember those, Veronica, when I used to get those cookies with mom? I used to do this cookie diet and literally consume 500 calories a day, and I almost died on that one time. So, I've done it all, and it was a desperate act after having my first child that even scared me to even have any more children, because I'm like, oh my gosh, that was terrible. And again, I was dealing with a lot of postpartum flaws. Well, fast forward to my second pregnancy, 4 years later. At this time, I was already working in a law firm. I had worked my way up. I never got to go to law school like I always wanted to, but I ended up settling into a law firm here, very prestigious law firm here in South Florida. And I built my way up from file clerk to receptionist to legal assistant to paralegal. I was one of the youngest paralegals that worked amongst the A shareholders, like the top attorneys in my office. And I worked really hard to get there. And it was around my second child that once he was born, one of the attorneys that I was assigned to in my office, I was assigned to 3 different attorneys. One of them was actually starting Beachbody, right? She started her first workout program. She actually had her son 6 months before I had my second baby. And this is the first time that I had been exposed to Beachbody workouts. I had seen, seeing her coming back from her postpartum journey, like bouncing back after having her son. And I was 6 months behind her. So I was like, okay, she's got this under control. I could figure this out. She had one child also, so that was her second baby. And when she started telling me what she was doing, I thought to myself, well, I reverted automatically back to being like, my mom's a really young mom, and Veronica probably remembers this. Like, I think the VCR tape that we had in the house was Paula Abdul's workout video, and it was literally working out to the YMCA, and we used to do these workouts in front of the TV. So when people told me home workouts, that's all I thought about, and I thought it was a joke. For someone that loved the gym, understood how to work out, I don't need those home workouts. That's a joke. Well, the thing that changed my perception on it was watching, at the time, my boss, who was on her postpartum journey, walking every day with an extra pep in her step. The weight was falling off quick. She wasn't 5 watered down versions of herself like I felt I was after coming back when I had Jackson. And I'll never forget the day that I walked into her office because I wasn't managing. I wasn't managing having the baby, trying to get back to work after I couldn't take maternity leave with my kids. So as soon as I was healed, I was right back at work because we could never really afford maternity leave. So it was only 6 weeks after having Jackson that I was back in the office, and I was drowning, guys. I was really drowning. And I remember walking into her office, I'm like, okay, what the heck did you do to end up how you were coming to work every day? Like, the weight falling off, energy sky high, she wasn't like I was. She wasn't drowning. And then she told me it was the Beachbody workouts. And then she told me it was the Shakeology. And guys, I resisted. I thought to myself, I don't need that. First of all, no shakes for me. I love to eat food. I was like, straight up, like, I like my arroz con frijoles. You're not going to get me to give up one of my meals for a shake. I didn't know any better. I was very ignorant, and I was very stubborn at the time. And I remember telling her, okay, but I'll do a workout, but I won't drink the shake. So I used this bootleg PNEX. You're going to hear it first, folks. I'm a 10-star diamond coach in the network, 2-time elite, and I started out with bootleg, copied DVDs. But back then, it was easy to get, and I didn't invest anything into getting the program. You best bet that I put it in twice and then never finished it. Went nowhere with it. And more time went by, and I'm like, something has got to give. And she was in my ear, and she's like, you got to try this. You got to do it the right way. And it was the first time I invested in my program and my Shakeology all at once. By the way, back then there was no challenge packs. So I'm going to share with you guys challenge packs, how you can save epic amounts of money bundling together nutrition with fitness. But back then when I did it, I had to buy them separately. It was upwards of almost $300 But I knew that I needed change. And I was like, you know what? I hit my rock bottom. Like, if I saw her do it, she inspired me. I'm like, I'm just going to do the damn thing. And I invested the money. And of course, since I invested, I did my very first program, which is Insanity Asylum, from start to finish with Shakeology. And that was the birth of my love for Beachbody, because it gave me back control after having my second child. It was nothing like the first time where I was going through desperate measures to lose the weight. You know, my stomach that I talked to you guys about, well, it's crazy because I thought I would never see the light of day again in a bikini. I thought I'd never put on a sports bra. Like, that was just not, I was never going to cut out for that again. It was committing to Beachbody programs that gave me the confidence to show off my midsection again. So I was a true believer at the time. Now, when I signed up to be a coach, like I told you guys, zero intentions of building this business. In fact, if you said like, oh, sell a challenge pack or sell Shakeology, I'm like, I'm not a salesperson. That to me is like the biggest turnoff. I don't like it. And it just was my thing. And I'll tell you guys, you know, something else. Where I was in the law firm, I had worked so hard to be there. So I was very proud of my job. I was very proud of all the things I had done. There's no way at that time, in my thinking, that I never let that go. But when I signed up to be a coach, I knew that I could save the 25%. It would make my Shakeology cheaper. It'd be one less thing that my husband would be questioning, you know, whatever it would charge. And I also started to have people asking. So Veronica, you heard from Veronica in a second. Our family business are preschools. So when I would go drop off the kids to our family business, I would have the moms be like, what do you do? Same thing that happened to me with my boss. What are you doing? Like, oh my gosh, you look great. Oh my gosh, the weight fell off. Like what? And they started asking questions, and then I started sharing. And since I was already a coach, they were ready to purchase their program. They were ready to get started. Guess what? I gave them my link. I'm like, well, I'm a coach, so you might as well. And then there came to life the fact that I realized, okay, I could do this kind of like a side gig, right? Whatever came my way, people asking if I inspired them to start, I could guide them. It was very easy. Push, play, drink the shake, follow the meal plan, you know? And I was like, we could do this. And I remember even starting a mommy fit club at the preschool, getting some moms together to work out. And that was the birth of, okay, maybe I could do this. And then when I started earning, I'm like, well, like I said, this could pay for the Target runs. It definitely paid for the Shakeology in the beginning of all of this. It was making dents in like the grocery bill, the gas bill, and just small things. And I was ecstatic, guys. I was ecstatic because, again, this was just like a side thing. The number one foundation of it all was that I was feeling amazing. I was feeling amazing as a mom of two. I was thriving. I was getting my workouts in. I was, you know, healthy, energetic. And that all of that to me was a big plus, okay? But then, fast forward a little bit more, the program worked a little too well because I got pregnant again. And then came my third child. And my third child, when I had her, I thought to myself, all right, fine, okay. We're gonna have another baby. And she was totally unplanned, but we're gonna have another baby. But this time I said, you know what? I'm gonna prove, because I was so in shape and I was doing so well. I was like, I'm gonna prove now that women don't have to do what I did the first two pregnancies, where I was just like a lump and I gained all this weight and I never felt great. I never felt great during my pregnancies. Like, I wanted to feel energetic because I knew it existed. I was watching other women doing it. I was like, that's my mission. And then after that, I'm gonna come back with a postpartum project, like I was gonna call it. And I was gonna prove how fast you can, if you follow the program without starving yourself, you know, just getting simple at-home workouts in with the baby right next to you, you could do this. And that was my plan, folks. And that's what I did, put the wheels into motion this whole time, working my job as a paralegal, working full time. And once my daughter was born, I was on my way doing the damn thing. And then 6 weeks after, she was about 6 weeks into her being born. And by the way, this was the first time I could afford to stay home. Maternity leave was with Mia, my last pregnancy, because of the side gig with Beachbody. Like, that'll forever be something that I'll cherish. But it was 6 weeks being home with her that I noticed something was off with her. Whenever she would cry, she had one of her eyes that would start to swell up. And, you know, if you're a mom on this call, you know, the first kid, like anything goes wrong, you go running to the doctor. You're like, oh my God, it's a baby. Second one, you're like, okay, well, I'll call a doctor in the morning and see. And then, you know, if the doctor checks down, say, oh, everything's fine. By the third, like, they're lucky if you even feed them, right? Like, much less you're rushing for every little thing. But I remember looking at her, and at first I'm like, no big deal, probably a clogged tear duct, you know, no big. And I remember showing my husband, like, what do you think, the baby? Okay, we just slept on it. We woke up in the morning, and I saw in the morning, and again, it was just like I looked at her and I was like, something's not right. My intuition told me, you know what? Go check this out. So we hopped in the car, went to the pediatrician's office, and I'll never forget walking in, showing him the baby, and he said, Mom, right now I need you to get the baby, go straight to Miami Children's Hospital. You're going to see Dr. Duarte. I remember her name. She is a specialist, and I believe that your daughter has what's called a hemangioma, and we need to we need to confirm whether it is or not, because right now time is of the essence. And at the time, I couldn't even pronounce hemangioma. I didn't even know what the heck it was. I come to find out what it was once I was in the hospital, once the MRIs were done, once the ultrasounds were done and everything. And they sat me down and said, well, Mom, here's the deal. Your daughter has what's called a hemangioma. It is a kind of tumor. It is benign, but the problem with these tumors are they're created by blood vessels and they're fed by blood. So essentially every time my daughter was crying, her tumor, like her blood was rushing to her head, her tumor was growing. And this is very prevalent in infants. But the thing is, with infants, they usually grow on the outside of the body. My daughter's was growing on the inside of her body, and it was intertwined in one of her eye muscles. So surgery was off the table because they told me that we surely nicked something, should leave her blind. It wasn't happening. However, the ultrasounds, MRIs, all that stuff were already showing that her eye was halfway out of pushed out of the socket because of the growth of the tumor. This scared the living shit out of me. I remember 1 second I sat home. I mean, the doctor told me, don't Google. What do you think I did when I got home? I Googled, and I'm like, I lost my shit for 10 minutes. Like, really just lost it. And then I gathered myself. I'm like, all right, we're doing this. We're going to figure this out. When they had told me what she had, they told me that there was no plan B, C, D. There was one plan and one plan only, and that was to give her an experimental drug that they give to children with heart defects. They had figured out just 4 years before Mia's hemangioma, a little boy who had a heart defect and also had a hemangioma. And they were feeding him a certain drug called propranolol for his heart defect, and they discovered simultaneously that somehow his tumor was shrinking. And so they said, Mom, this is the plan for your daughter. We're going to give her this medication, and we're going to hope that it's going to control the growth of the tumor, because around the age of 6 months, the body naturally attacks this tumor, and then it's gone. Guys, it was a long 6 months, and it was a medicine that had to be administered, and she had to be observed for 2 hours after giving her the medicine in the hospital room. This lasted 6 months, once a week. Now, let me paint the picture for you what that looked like. It looked like sending my sister to doctor's appointments, because I had to go back to work after my maternity was gone. Mama's got to make the dough, got to bring home the bread. Sending my sister, my husband, who would call me from the lobby like, this child won't stop crying, I don't know what to do. My mom, I even had friends at some point. What I hold on to is I don't wish on anyone having to speak to their child's doctor through a speakerphone. Like, I'd be sitting in my cubicle and having to hear, tell the doctor, this is what's going on, this is where she's at, and hoping and praying that wouldn't be the day that she'd have an adverse reaction or something go wrong and Mom wouldn't be there. I share this story with you guys because, to me, in that lowest of low points in my life, that's when I looked at Beachbody and what I had been doing and this whole fun thing and this hobby thing that I was doing in a whole other light. Because in my time up to that moment, I had seen other women crossing paths, women ahead of me. You're going to know about our teams in a second, but we come from a large team here in South Florida, a large presence in Beachbody. And I was watching these women accomplish huge things within the business. And I just wasn't there yet, right? Nothing had clicked for me. I was just having fun with it. But once this happened, I call it my aha moment. And I was like, I never want to feel like that again as a mom. And that's when I looked at this business opportunity in a whole other light. And I took a hold of it. And I can tell you guys proudly today that with that fire lit under my butt, it's going to be 6 years in July that I retired myself as a paralegal, came home to work this business full time, and here I am sharing my story with you, right? But what I want you to know is that it started off with a mom just wanting to get fit, then a mom having fun and maybe paying off a couple of, and then the aha moment and deciding to be a business builder. It doesn't have to, you can fit anywhere. There's no right answer. You can fit anywhere in that scale, right? But what I want you to know tonight is that you will be joining a team that has systems in place for you to succeed, has an amazing culture and team that's here to support you. We have a heck of a lot of fun, right? And and I want you to stop for a second also and thank the person that invited you here, because it took a lot of guts, but they know that this is something of value and they want to share it with the next person. And guess what? If you're here, that means something's pulling you to something new. You need change. You're trying to find something, and I don't know what it is, but I want you to hold on to that as we listen through tonight, right? Because this is a very special opportunity. And I love that. To me, what I love most about it is that the foundation forever and more will be push and play, getting a workout in, drinking this dense nutritional shake that feeds you at the cellular level, makes you feel great, that now, you're no longer 5 watered down versions of yourself. And it's crazy. It's crazy when you just take 30 minutes out of your day to take care of yourself, how all the roles you play in life, you play them so much better. You really are, because now you're not, you're coming full throttle with everything you've got, the best version of yourself. So that's my story. And I wanted to pass it on to my sister, because here's the funny part. I've been a coach for almost 8 years. Veronica's going to tell you how long she's been a coach and her take on all of this. So take it away, sis.
So I guess skepticism runs in our family because I've been a coach for 3 years. So do the math. It took me 4 years to join my sister. I'm going to rewind to explain to you guys where my aha moment happened. And obviously it took a little longer and I was a little bit hard to convince. But I always tell my sister I was worth the wait. So I'm going to rewind. So back up, my husband and I were good. Like, things were going good. As my sister mentioned earlier, my mother owns preschools. I was working there since I was young. I got my degree to become a teacher. I had my director's credential. I was directing the school. I was running these businesses. That in my mind, that was my goal. That was my passion. That's where I was meant to be. And I thought that was, where I was supposed to be, but God had different plans for me, so things were doing good. And yes, it to sustain our household, we needed 2 incomes. My husband had, his career. I had my career. Things were going great, right? Things were fine. Financially, we were okay. But then something happened that my husband got let go. And I remember that day when I got the call. I'm not a crier, but I fell to my knees. And I was like, the first thing I can think of was, what are we going to do? I mean, I can't do this with just my income. Like, there's just no way. So I was like, we have a mortgage, we have kids, the extracurriculars. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to take my kids out of their extracurricular activities and groceries. How are we going to pay for all these things? And I just remember, like, my mind spiraled out of control, and I went into a really dark place. But of course, our family, we're strong people. We're raised tough. And so I picked myself back up and I told my husband, okay, you know what? Screw your job, screw your people, screw that, screw corporate America. Nobody's going to ever have to, like, one day just tell us out of the blue, you're done, and be able to control the income that we have coming in. So I had told him we had saved. I'm a saver, right? So we had saved a lot of money. Well, we turned around and we did it very quick. So from the time that he was let go, we opened a store within 4 months. We invested all of our money. And I'll tell you guys, it was over $50,000. And it was a really tiny convenience store in the middle of nowhere. We thought it was going to be like epic, because out there in the boondocks, we live in Miami, and we have what's called the Redlands. And the Redlands is like where you only see, like, people would ride up to our store in horses. Like, that's where what was going on there. But that was it. It was the only shopping center there. Besides gas stations, we were it. So we thought, all right, this is a gold mine. We're gonna, prosper here. So let's invest all of our savings. And we did. We invested all of our savings into this convenience store. Well, here we were living that, entrepreneur life. And while I would get out of work, I would have to run at night and go close the store. On my weekends, we would alternate because we could not afford to hire anybody. The store wasn't making enough money. We had just invested everything we had. for the store. So it wasn't, we couldn't hire somebody. So my husband and I, and thank God, my father-in-law, he stepped up and he said, I'll help you guys. So between the three of us, we alternated. So here I was on my weekends, ringing up people. And again, you guys don't realize, I know some of you guys might realize, we didn't realize, when things are going great, your marriage is great, right? Well, when things were not so great, it trickled into me as a woman. It trickled into me as a wife. It trickled into me as a mother. I could not even recognize the person I had become. I was bitter. I was always upset. And I would hide with this mask of like sarcasm. And like, I was just in a really dark place. And I was throwing the biggest pity party ever. And if you were not in a pity party, you were not allowed around me. And that was the person I had become. So here we are in the store. We're still drowning. Okay, the store's not making enough money. We could barely afford to restock it. So everything that we were earning, we were restocking, and paying the bills. And it's funny how life happens. My husband gets a call back from his job. And this was about, I want to say 8 months into the business. He gets a call back and they said, want you back. And so at this point, a part of me was like, they can go fly a kite because they don't know what they just put us through. But another part of me was like, we need it. Like, we're desperate. Like, we need it. So go ahead. So he went back he got his job back. So we had to hire somebody. We hired a young 18-year-old girl. So my father-in-law would work in the mornings. This girl would work in the afternoons. We would cover, the weekend. We would cover whatever time we had. So let's fast forward a year later. I remember sitting down and doing our taxes. Now, mind you, the store's been open for only 2 years. And we looked at what the store was bringing in. Okay. And we looked at what we were earning. And we realized that a huge chunk of our incomes from his job and my job was supporting the store and supporting everything that was going on there. And we're like, okay, we can't do this. Like, it's not making any sense. And it was a huge burden. We had to be there all the time. I just remember our marriage was literally at this point hanging by a thread. It really was. I honestly, I thought at that point, like, once this was all over, like, we were over. And so all of these things were happening. And I remember just like talking to our tax guy, and I looked over to my husband and I'm like, let's just pull the plug. Like, let's just cut our losses. So we did exactly that. We walked away from the store. We walked away still owing over $30,000 in debt. So like when people say like, I have to pay how much to start this business? No. This is pennies compared to what it takes to really open up a business. And mind you, the business that we opened up was not a big one. I can't imagine, the amount of money that's put into, franchises or whatever the case is. But it hurt. It really did. And so I remember at this point, my sister was on her Beachbody journey. And of course, I wanted nothing to do with that. I was in my mind, I'm not a salesperson. I can never do what you do. When you're behind a register ringing up and you have the only thing in front of you, the rack of like chocolate bars and all that stuff that they grab at the last minute, like, you don't realize how much you grab. I was already like 50 pounds overweight. I was in a bad place physically, mentally, spiritually, in my marriage, as a mother. I was just really bitter. And at this point, my sister was, I would always look at her and she would always be like in such a good mood. And she was like this unicorn on a rainbow and everything was great. And I was just like, go fly a kite, And so I remember, being like, God, I was not at the point, again, because I was still throwing my pity party. I was not at the point where I wanted to receive what she had to offer. And I think that it's pretty awesome how life has played out, because if I would have joined her, if I would have joined her, 8 years ago, I wasn't ready mentally. So it's kind of brought me patience for people when they're not ready in their life. But I want everybody to know that I will be here and my sister will be here when you are ready. And that's what, for my sister, that was her role for me, what she did for me. She paved the way. And when I was ready to receive it, she was still there. Right. And I thank her for that, because even though I didn't join her right away, and it only took 4 years. I mean, come on, Monica. It only took 4 years for me to join her. It didn't, I'm so grateful that it didn't discourage her to stop, because then this opportunity wouldn't have been able to fall in my lap. Right. So take that into consideration when you are talking to your friends and families and whatnot. Now, my sister had, at this point, became an elite coach. In our world, that is a very prestigious title. And it was her first time. And of course, as the amazing sister that I am, I went to go support her. She said, hey, I hit this thing called elite. She was speaking Chinese to me. I didn't know what it meant, but I knew that, okay, I'll be there. I'll go. And I remember telling my husband, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm going to have to be around like all these foo-foo people that are like so excited about life. And here, we were still drowned. Like things were still not okay in my world. And so I showed up to the party, and people, of course, everybody was super awesome, super nice. And I remember, and it's really hard for me to even admit this, but like I remember sitting back and just listening to everybody talk, listening. So at this point she was giving away these necklaces for achieving a certain rank. People were speaking, and I remember one girl talking about how because of this fitness opportunity, she is no longer on blood pressure medication, or has no longer, considered obese. Like she had lost like 80 pounds. It was just crazy. Another girl, and this was like big for me, where she said, after the market crash, I've been living in my in-laws' 1-bedroom with 2 kids, her husband, and 3 dogs. And I was like, wow. And for the first time, because of this business opportunity, they just like that weekend or the week before received the keys to their very own place, that they were finally able to get on their feet. And it just kind of sunk in with me. And hearing those stories made me realize, one, my sister was far from a salesperson. Okay. My sister was changing people's lives, helping people by sharing the opportunity. I mean, think about it. You love a restaurant, you talk about it. You love a movie, you talk about it. You're essentially selling that movie. You're selling that restaurant, right? And so it was the same thing. And I was like, I just remember sitting back and going, holy crap, I'm such an idiot. I am so stupid. Like I felt so stupid for all these years when my sister tried to talk to me about it. And I was like, It was because I was just not open-minded, and I just didn't want to receive it. I wasn't in the place to receive it. So finally that day, I remember coming home to my husband, and I remember telling him, and I said, we're going to open up a business. And he was like, oh my God, are you mad, woman? I was like, no. This one does not take like, $50,000, to open up. But I said, I told my husband, I said, I want to do this. Not only do I want to do this for us, but I want to do this for me. I feel bad. I feel like what I need is exactly what my sister is offering. A positive atmosphere, income opportunity, fitness, tools, just tangible tools that I can use to feel better about myself. And so my husband at this, he was all very supportive, and he said, you do whatever you have to do, go for it. And so I called my sister up the next day and I said, okay, sign me up. And I remember putting my information. At this point, there was challenge packs. So I did buy a challenge pack. I was one of the lucky ones. And I remember putting in my credit card information, and I was like, holy crap, please don't decline, because I still owed like $30,000 in credit card. And I was like, oh, and it was approved. And so here I am 3 years later. What's pretty crazy is when I first started this, I was kind of like on the same boat as Monica. I never had any intentions of leaving my career. In my mind, I had this big vision of, owning my own schools. I was already running them. I knew what it took. I knew what it was. And in my mind, I was like, that's where I'm meant to be. And I don't know, it's slowly but surely, like my passion just kind of changed. And I've already hit the 1,000 a week mark, and also I've matched this Beachbody my part-time Beachbody gig has matched my full-time career income. Okay, it has matched it, and I officially am retiring this year as a teacher. I'm not counting, but I have
so crazy.
I'm not counting, but I have 11 days left of work. 11 days. Like sometimes I literally go, oh my God, is this my life? Like, holy crap, is this my life? And I cannot thank enough, my sister for not giving up when I was not ready, right? Because if she would have said, oh, I can't even get my sister to join me, let me just quit, I wouldn't be here today. And so that's my story. So in 11 days, I will be a full-time Beachbody coach. And my sister and I this year, this year, we crossed the finish line together as an elite team. So we are both elite sisters. So very proud of that. I'm going to talk about, so that's basically my story. Okay, and so now, oh, by the way, let me bring this back. My marriage, I fell in love with my husband all over again. I didn't know that was even possible. We are amazing. My faith is through the roof. My everything, just everything about me, even my close friends that know me. Hi, Mia. Even my close friends that know me are always like, God, there's just something different about you. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not in my like pity party anymore. Like there's so much better out there, and there's so much more. And I just want to be the best version of myself for my kids and for my family. And I think that that's what Beachbody has showed me and has helped me with. So, all right, I'm going to talk about who we are as coaches and what we do as coaches. So I'm going to share my screen real quick.
You look just like Papi in that little picture.
Big?
Yes, you do.
I posted a picture of Papi and I, and somebody had told me, oh my God, you guys are identical.
Yes, you look identical to him.
So, okay. Fitness, Wi-Fi, and a dream. It is exactly that. How crazy is this that, Monica and I were able to build a pretty big business literally through this, like this and our computers. It's that simple. It is that simple. So what exactly do we do as coaches? So we're going to talk about our mission, our vital behaviors, and the tools that we have. All right, so first thing first, let's debunk some things, because I know I am a huge skeptical person, and I remember saying all these things. I'm not into fitness. And honestly, when I bought the challenge pack for the first time and I became a coach, I did not like working out. I'll be honest, I didn't like working out. I mean, seriously, like, who does? I know I didn't. And I get that a lot. Oh, but you like working out. I'm like, yeah, no, I like working out now because I know with a lot of time how it makes you feel. But what, you think that when I was 50 pounds overweight, did I look like I liked working out? Like, come on. So that's exactly some of the things that we're going to debunk here today. Your goal weight. Do you have to be at 6-pack abs and at your goal weight to coach? No. I was, again, 50 pounds overweight when I became a coach. Do I have to be a personal trainer? No, I had zero knowledge about this business. You know who does? Our super trainers do. You know what we do? We direct them to them. They will teach them how to do a correct burpee, how to do a correct lunge, and how to do all that stuff. Do you think Monica came over my house and corrected my form? No, Autumn did. Like, that's just the way it is. Do I have to be a nutritionist? No, we have what's beautiful and so simple, our color-coded containers. That is it. That's our tools. Your job is to share those tools with others, and that is it. So no, you do not have to be a nutritionist. And I'm still not a nutritionist. Do I have to be a professional? No. So it's so crazy because it in my line of work, I think I'm actually lucky because in my line of work, I dealt with parents. And of course, I'm dealing with their most precious, valuable thing in life, which is their kids. So I did have that good, social skills. But I tell people all the time, listen, I've had girls that are nurses. I've had girls that are teachers. I've had girls that are, I don't know, not even sure, like, in between jobs that have jumped into this business and are successful. You want to know what you do have to be? Teachable. You have to be teachable. So you do not have to be any of these things. You do have to be teachable. So we are just real people who are achieving real results while making a real impact. That is all. And that is our team at one of our epics. This was last year's Success Club trip. Monica's going to touch up on that a little bit, but this is a possibility. You guys can be at these trips next year. All right. So I wanted to share this. This is where I started my journey. My journey started with the picture on the left. The other day, somebody asked me, were you pregnant in that picture? And I was like, no, I wasn't. And I sent another picture, like the big picture of it, and another one with this one. And you could clearly tell I wasn't pregnant, but that just goes to show you how overweight I was. And then while I started my journey on the left, I would help people as I was helping myself. I'll say two things I noticed. I think people trusted me when I shared my journey from the beginning to like now. So instead of like, disappearing and nobody seeing anything and all of a sudden going, ta-da, look at me. Like, I don't think people were like in it. It's like watching the beginning of a movie and then going straight to the end of the movie. Like you wanna have that trust in between. So bringing people on your journey is exactly what you're meant to do, and you'll be surprised how many people you will inspire just by sharing. Just share your journey, share your struggles, share what you're going through, share your little successes, I always say we have what's called non-scale victories. These pants didn't fit me last month, look at them now. Share those things. And I promise you, people are watching. I get people from like the woodworks that never like any of my pictures that are like, all right, I've been watching you for like a year, sign me up. And I'm like, who are you? I didn't even know you were watching me. So people are always watching. Our mission as coaches is to help people achieve their goals and live a healthy, fulfilling lives. It's as simple as that. Share your journey. And we're here to inspire other people to get started on their journey. We have all the tools needed. We have everything. Monica's gonna go a little bit into that of all the tools that we have. But it's as simple as that. Like, I kid you not, it's as simple as that. All right. So let me move this. Oh wait. Can you see those pictures, Mo?
Yeah, I see them.
Oh, my thing is like covering it. It's weird.
It's probably like not. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so our vital behaviors. This is what we as Beachbody coaches we work by. These are the things that we work by. Be proof the product works. Like, you cannot sell something that you yourself are not doing. You can't say, like, drink the shake, and then they're like, oh, yeah, like, which flavor should I get? Well, I don't know. I don't drink it. Do you think they're going to buy it from you? Like, you get what I'm saying? So you have to be the proof the product works. So these are some of the girls, as you can see, that they've been on our team, and they were proof that the product works. So you have to get results. So a part of this is not saying, okay, well, I'm drinking the shake, but you have to share your journeys. Like I said, the non-scale victories, share your before and afters. You have to share your journey. You have to share your results for yourself, for your challengers, and your team of coaches. Connect and invite. So as you're going and sharing and somebody says, gosh, you look great, that is a perfect opportunity for you to invite them. Hey, like, thank you so much for loving on my post. Like, it was really hard for me to share. I really appreciate your support. Why don't you join me? Like, I think you would love this. So it's as simple as connecting with other people and inviting them. So development inside and out, that we call that personal development. You've got to work yourself inside and work yourself outside. So we're very big on PD. I used to always think that PD was like cheesy, and I was like, oh my God, you're not gonna catch me like reading any like of those books, and that's just like those corny books that people like to say, like tell themselves in the mirror, you are brave, you are awesome. Well, guess what? I'm that person now, and I live by that, and I true wholeheartedly believe that what you think in your mind, what you condition, and when you're constantly reading positive things, when you're constantly listening to positive things, when you're able to do all those things, give me 1 second. Close the door, please. Thank you, sir. When you're able to work your mind and condition your mind, it's going to be this much easier to press play on your workout and get things done. So we're very, very big on personal development. One of the books that I highly recommend is Girl Wash Your Face. It's a great book to start with. And again, it's not a you did it once, got the t-shirt kind of thing. That is something that you have to work on always. So another thing is recognition and celebrate. We are very big on recognizing big successes, little successes, all kinds of successes. Get ready, because if you're a part of this team, like you are going to get gift parties all the time. You're going to get recognized for different things that you guys can see here. We have Casey that she was recognized for Success Club All-Star, means she helped 3 people or more a month for 12 months. That's a big deal. We recognize that. We have Catherine that was a brand new coach, and she helped 3 people a month for 3 months, and she's considered what we call a success starter, and she earned her ticket to Summit. Beachbody's paying for her to go to Indianapolis with us for Summit. Like, big deal. And then as you can see here, my sister and I both crossed the finish line last year as Elite Sisters, and so we will constantly be recognized. Like, I sit back and think, like, how often do you get recognized at work? Like, you do something awesome, or you pass like a great inspection. Like, do you get like praise and a big recognition from like everybody? Like, I know. And so honestly, like, even as adults, we need that. Like, why do we only do that with kids? Like, our kids, since they're young, they poop the right way. We're like super like excited about that, and as they get older, they catch a ball for the first time. Like, we praise that. Like, why do we stop that as adults? Well, we don't, and we need it. And as adults, like, being praised and being recognized is essential for it. We need that. We need that to grow, and it feels great. And I didn't know what that felt like until I became a Beachbody coach. And so now I'm like a recognition whore. I love it. Like, you dangle anything at me and I'm like, I'm going to get it because I want to be recognized. So some of the things when you decide, because once you're done with this call, you're going to decide to become a coach, you're going to get your first recognition. You're going to get your welcome recognition, and you're going to be showered with a bunch of love. And that's just going to be a little taste of what it feels like to be recognized. And this is something like this. We'll do a post. We have a private Facebook page, and in there is where we all have all of our coaches and where we kind of like mingle. So, all right, our tools. So what do we have as tools? When you become a coach, there is a $15 coach fee. If you're a veteran, it is waived, and you do not have to pay monthly. If you're active duty or any military, you and your spouse. So let's say your spouse is a military veteran or whatnot, you as well fall in that category where you have that waived. But if not, like me, my husband was not in the military, neither was I. I pay a whopping $15 a month to have this business. Like, it's like nothing, right? And with that $15, we have tons of tools. We have a back office. So wait, actually, let me go down the list. I'm gonna go down the list. So some of the tools that we have is at-home programs. So we have Beachbody On Demand. So it's like the Netflix, but of health and fitness. You can, go in that, you can click on that, and you have over 50 programs to pick from. You have the calendar of what you need. You have the nutrition plan you need. So everything you need is in that. Shakeology and other nutritional tools. So we also have Shakeology. That is, I think that is our best product we have. It is by far the best product that we have in Beachbody. It is literally 70 antioxidants, superfoods, vitamins. It bridges the gap of our deficiencies, because everybody has deficiencies and everybody's deficiency is different. And so Shakeology just bridges that gap. And I kid you not, when you drink it for a month, you just feel different, and your bowel and everything just is like regular, and it feels good. I know, TMI. So we also have a nutritional system. So we also have challenge groups. This is a huge thing. We not only have challenge group, but we have what's called a challenge tracker app. So you as a coach, you have access to now creating your own groups or even joining groups, or when you sign up, you have access to challenge groups. And it's an app just made for customers. So you have to be a customer. You have to have an account with Beachbody. And what's really cool about this is we can keep track of with each other. I can see when you log in. You can see when I log in. It's just there to motivate each other. And we also do really fun things, like we just did recently, Fit Wars, where we kind of like bundled our big team, and we potted them out into different teams. So we had like 15 different teams, and we went against each other. So every time you logged in, you earned your team a point. And at the end, the team with the highest points, they earned, in this case, we earned money prize. So it was a lot of fun, a lot of competition, a lot of crap talking with each other. It's just fun, and it's motivating. And that's one of the tools that you have with Beachbody. Another thing you have is Diesel Nation New Coach Academy. So when you become a coach and you go, okay, what's next? We don't just like say, okay, go figure it out, go Google it or go YouTube it. No, we have a funnel system. So you'll come in, and the first thing you'll do is our Coach University. Once you're completed with Coach University, then you go into our Emerald. Once you go into our Emerald training, then you go into our Diamond training. And we will walk you through the way. We have our Facebook private team, which I explained to you. So once you become a coach, we'll add you to that private team and we'll announce you. We have a coach online office. I mean, this tool here, it literally, it will, how can I say, it will tell you everything about your business, everything that's going on. You'll see all your customer names. You'll see what your customers ordered. You'll see your points. You'll see your volume. You'll see, like, everything is for you, everything you need to track your business and to understand how to grow your business. We're given, like, I remember when I had, when I opened up the store, I had to pay for, like, the program that scans all the products, the program that told me when products were low, the program that, like, and all of these things I had to pay for, and it was not cheap. And so you have that. You have everything you need to track your business and to and to kind of like, how can you say, maintain your business, whatever. And then we have what's another tool, which is an awesome tool. It's called a share cart. So once you're done and you've decided to become a coach, or if you're a customer, you probably received the share cart from your coach. So a share cart is just an awesome tool that we make it simple for you. You don't have to, you just tell me what you want. You want a challenge pack? You want Shakeology? You want chocolate? Chocolate Shakeology? I got you. And we put it in a cart and we send it off to you. You click it, check out, you're done, right? How awesome is that? And as a coach, you have the opportunity to create those carts for your customers to simplify it for them. So these are all the different tools that we have when you become a coach, a customer, or whatnot. So I think that was it. That's who we are and what we do. Let me stop my... There we go, Mo. Now pass it over to my sister, and she's going to talk about income. I know that's what everybody wants to hear.
I know.
How do we earn? Show me the money. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I know you guys now are at the edge of your seats. You're like, okay, I get this. I understand what coaching is. I understand what I need to do. I see all the tools that I have at my dispense to make this happen. Now tell me, how am I going to earn? Okay, that's my part. So let me share my screen because we are definitely we love to do PowerPoints and whatnot here. Hold on. I'm on the wrong screen. Give me 1 second. Where does it go? Of course, I should have had this open. Okay, here we go. And Veronica, I think it's so funny because so many of the pictures you use, I use the same exact pictures in my slide. It's going to be a lot of duplication. That's fine. Our team is awesome. All right, so how do coaches earn? So tonight we're going to talk about how coaches earn. And what I want you to know is I think a lot of people have this misconception that it's just, okay, you help people get started with maybe Shakeology, Beachbody on Demand, a challenge pack, and you earn a commission. And boom, and that's as far as they know. But it's so much deeper than that. There are actually 4 main ways to earn in this business. Well, the first one that we talked about is retail commission. But there's actually something called residual income, which is extremely awesome. And when you first start your business will kind of start off as 100% commission-based business, right? Because you're just getting started and you're starting to build your customer base and you're starting to build your reputation, your trust with your followers, and so on and so forth. As you build what I like to call lifers, right? People like me that I did my first program in its entirety. I drank Shakeology and I got results and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I became a lifer. And then when you start signing those coaches and you're building your team, all of a sudden your residual income starts to climb. So it kind of does this thing where your commission-based business stays down here and your residual income at one point, like in the point where I am in my business, it's about 90% of my income or more. Right? And there's also something called matching bonuses and there's something called quarterly bonuses. So and there's actually more ways to earn. So there's small little things that you can earn here and there that raise your paycheck from week to week. We do get paid, by the way, every Thursday. That's payday. That's why coaches are so happy on Thursday mornings. And but these are the 4 main ways. And this is what I'm going to cover tonight because I want you walking away understanding that these ways of earning are immediate for you. You can come into the business, set the goals, and work towards them. All right, so the first one, retail commission. And by the way, retail commission, you can think of it as active income. So you actively work, you will actively earn. 25% commission is earned on all products, all consumables in Beachbody, everything that we have to offer, whether it's the performance line, whether it's Shakeology, whether it's equipment, accessories, so on and so forth. By the way, Beachbody is the only multi-level marketing company out there in the health industry that not only provides you with supplements, not only provides you with a dense nutritional shake, not only provides you with fitness, but also apparel, shoes, accessories. I mean, we are the total package. We have everything. And whenever your customers purchase something or get started with something, you will earn a 25% commission. Now, here's a really cool part. And this was implemented, like I said, it was not implemented when I first started coaching. It would happen later on, and it was an absolute game changer, not just in the business and in the sense of earning, but in the business in the sense of helping people get results. Because we knew, Beachbody knows, that if you try to cut out one of the 3 key components to achieving results in Beachbody, which are push play and get a workout in, drink Shakeology once a day, and follow your meal plan. Those 3 components are crucial. One is not more important than the other. They had to figure out a way to entice people to do it the right way and not cut corners. And that's where the challenge packs came to life. They said if a person that decides to get started on their journey and doesn't do like the Monica where she tries to get burned DVD, skip out on the shake and not even know the meal plan exists because she didn't get the real program, and then of course she's angry saying this doesn't work. If you were able to entice someone to get started with all three components, Beachbody on the front end of it all would lose, because what happens is that they will give the customer a mega discount. You can save, for example, on the All Access Challenge Pack, you will save up to $70 by bundling all three things together versus buying them separately. Like, remember, like I told you when I started, it was like almost $300 worth of stuff. Well, these day and ages, you'll get it for $160, all three components. Like, that's mega. So your customer gets a giant discount. And guess what? As a coach, your commission on Challenge Pack is raised. So now it's not just 25%, but now raised to 30%. So you see how Beachbody on the front end loses because they're paying out more money to the coach in commission, right? They're sharing a bigger chunk of the commission and they're giving a bigger discount to the customer. Well, you want to know how they really come out winning? When people really put in the work and don't cut corners and do it the right way, they achieve results. And results creates lifers. And lifers, that's where over time it compounds. And not only are coaches building firm businesses and foundations, but people are changing their lives through health and fitness, and some even saving their life. By the way, in this photo here, you see Michelle's the first woman in the picture. She's actually pregnant with her fourth child in this picture. So she's that fit mommy in her prego stages. I think today she's like 7.5 months pregnant and still working out like a mad woman. There's Amy there, the second woman. She is down almost, Amy, quote me, but I think it's almost 80 pounds, 90 pounds down and counting in her journey. Then there's me right there. And then there's my girl, Anna, who also, we connected because we're both mothers of 3. She also suffers from diastasis recti. And we talk about it all the time, how both her and Michelle, they felt the same way about taking off their shirt for the first time, rocking that bikini, even being flawed postpartum, but feeling that confidence. And that's what it's really about when you can get people to that place. In retail commission, we also earn 10% on apparel. So that's super cool because everything Beachbody has awesome swag and stuff, wear and share that you could also use towards your business. When I go to the supermarket and I'm wearing one of my Shakeology shirts or my Transform 20 hat, like there's always questions. This day and age, the brand recognition is so strong, so it definitely helps strike up conversations and whatnot. So that is one way to earn, right? And that's pretty much the main way to earn. And like I said, when you come into business, that's going to be the first way that you'll earn. Then as you start to build a team, you will start to earn what's called residual income. And this comes when you hit your first rank in the business called Emerald. And don't worry, I know it sounds like Chinese now, but when you come into the business, there's going to be new coach training that Veronica touched on that will help you understand all the first goals that you should be setting in your business. But definitely one of them is Emerald. And when you do that, you unlock the potential to earn residual income. Residual income is like the income they say happens while you sleep. Meaning you don't actually have to be the present earning it, but it'll constantly be paying out to you. And that happens in our business by building a team of coaches, right? So right now you're on this call right now. The coach that invited you wants you to be a coach on their team. And this is tapping into their residual income. Because what happens is as you come into the business, and even if you stay as a discount coach and just order your Shakeology once a month and have your Beachbody on demand, or maybe your performance line, your Energize, your Recover, everything that you purchase turns into points, and those points later turn into what we call team cycle bonuses. And your coach will earn by having your coach on the team. Let's say you're a coach that comes in and says, you know what, I'm going to start, building my business. I may help, maybe like me, that you want to do a hobby coaching just as a side gig. Well, everything that you get started with and help others with, your coach will also earn residual income off of that. So it's now income earned by you and your team of coaches. And like I mentioned a second ago, we work on a binary system. So a binary system means the left leg and a right leg. Kind of looks like a triangle. And I love when people say, is this a pyramid scheme? I'm like, just because a binary system is shaped in a triangle does not mean that it is a pyramid scheme. By the way, those things are illegal, so this wouldn't be around if that was the case. But when we work on binary system, you will start to assign coaches on your left leg and your right leg. You share one of those legs with your sponsor, right? So if let's say Monica's up here and Monica signs Veronica down here, well, now Monica and Veronica share one leg, and then the other leg, you're responsible for building your team. And as you build, when your legs hit certain ratios, you will cash out a bonus. We're not going to get into like the logistics of what the ratio is and all that because it's going to be Chinese to you now. Once you have numbers that you can play with, once you start building your team, then it will make complete sense, and we have training to walk you through that. But we want you to know that this kind of income exists because it's a biggie. And like I said, you come into the business, 100% will be commission in the beginning. But soon you'll see like that tilt in the scale where residual will start to climb. And as you build your business and build a team, it can be the biggest chunk of your income. The next one is called matching bonuses. And this one's really special because it is the only income in the business that is uncapped. So residual, you are capped depending on your rank, right? By the way, that means that let's just say Veronica starts busting her butt in this business, and then Monica says, you know what, I'm going to kick back and I'm just not going to do anything. And she doesn't advance in rank, she doesn't continue to build her business, her income can be capped. Each rank has a cap. So everyone equally puts in work and grows together. Well, in matching bonuses, however, there is no cap. And this means that when your team of coaches start earning their own residual income, you earn 10% of that. So every time Veronica hits residual income week to week, I get 10% of what she earns. Not from her money, but 10% matching bonus of what her amount is. Then the last one is quarterly bonuses. And quarterly bonuses are ranked-based bonuses. So think about this. I'm going to share a quick story with you guys. Remember when I told you that I never got to take maternity leave with any of my kids except the last pregnancy when Beachbody was already in my life? Well, when I did come back from maternity leave with Mia, I remember sitting down for my yearly review, which came like a month after my maternity leave. And they sat me down and said, well, Monica, we gave out bonuses to everybody, but since you were gone for 3 months on maternity leave, we're just going to skip you this year and better luck next year. And by the way, everybody got like 2% raises, which probably equaled like 50 cents a paycheck. But they passed me over because I was off for 3 months having a baby. And that to me always stayed with me. Because in this business, quarterly bonuses, you have the ability to earn this every quarter. Every 3 months, you have the chance to win this. Now, this is a rank-based bonus, so it means depending on where you are in your rank, and again, you'll learn the ranks as you come into the business and you go through your coach training, but this bonus can range anywhere from $900 for a 2-star bonus, or it can be $50,000 for what we call 15-star diamond, superstar diamond coaches. Now, what the really cool part to me is the bonuses are broken down into 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, and then superstar 15. But let's say you end as a 10-star, right? So I'm a 10-star diamond coach, lifetime coach. When I earned that 10-star diamond bonus, not only did I get the 10, but I got the 5 and I got the 2. And at that time, it was a $24,000 bonus that I was like, I swear I choked up when it hit the bank account and it was direct deposited because I just couldn't believe it. Is this the real life? At that time, that was almost half of my income, very close to half of my income as a paralegal. So that was really special when that happened. But you have the opportunity to earn these quarterly bonuses based on your rank. And again, you earn these every quarter. All right. So those are the 4 main ways to earn. And I went through those really quickly, but I want you to know that they exist. Now, real quick, and, and I don't do this to boast or brag or anything, but I want to really open your eyes because I share with you, and I was very transparent on my story. My sister was very transparent on her story, what she invested, what she lost. And we want to give you the big picture, the vision of what is possible. I want to share with you guys my income progression throughout the years because I did not come into this business full throttle. You know this. I came in just wanting to feel better, and then it evolved into a mom wanting to feel better about herself and possibly earning the target runs, right? And then it came into, you know what? I need this. My family and I need this. And I left a $60,000 paying job on the table as a paralegal. And I remember doing that and getting criticized by my family. Not all my family, obviously not my sister, my mom, because they drove me into the business beginning, but mostly my in-laws not understanding what I was doing, and I get it. Your family loves you and they want the best for you and they fear for you. And a $60,000 paying job was fantastic, especially not being a lawyer. But if I would not have let this go, this could not have happened. My income in 6 years of, again, evolving into this business, growing at my pace, and I'm very proud of that because some people have done it faster than I have, but evolving into this business at my pace, I have been able to hit the 6-figure mark continue to grow from that. And what you're seeing here is my income without even my bonuses that happen every quarter. This is just straight up my residual and commission-based business on a weekly basis. And I'm extremely proud of that, because I know if I had not broken the chains and, you know, and decided, and you know what, sometimes our test in life becomes our testimony. So while I never wished what I went through with my daughter, which by the way, you see her picture there, while I would never wish that on anyone, while I don't wish anything, you know, what happened to my sister, her husband losing his job, her first business failing, all that stuff, where I never would wish that on anyone, you do get to go back and look at the silver lining in it all. We grew from that. It made us, you know, into who we are, who now can look at this business in a whole other light and appreciate it, because this business does not cost a lot of money to start it, but it can earn you a lot of money if you take care of it and you treat it like a business. And this is what I've been able to accomplish. And I also wanted to show you another coach on our team here who did this in 2 years, okay? This is Lori, by the way. 2 years, this is what she was able to achieve. Her first paycheck was a $48 paycheck. She probably sold 2 Shakeologies, or maybe a challenge pack. And then in 2 years, her income was already hitting $2,000 and change on a weekly basis. And she asked, why not you? And this is from a new coach. So that's really special to hear someone that goes full throttle. Here's another coach. She actually joined a year after me, I think it was, or a year and a half after me. And Jamie, I've grown with her in this business, but she never held back. She had a very strong, powerful why. She came into this with a business mindset, and what she's been able to accomplish in a 4-year period is just like beyond me. By the way, we come from an upline team of 2 sisters, which, remember I told you my boss, the one that got me started on this. Well, her and her sister are upline team, and both of those girls are in the Million Club. So they've already reached a cumulative of $1 million in this business. They're both superstar diamonds, like we just talked about, and they are continuously helping us and guiding us. And like I said, remember when I told you that I had women paving the way for me, showing me what's possible, and I followed them. And they are the epitome of our team. So you are joining a team that is not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. But with all this, I share that Beachbody, we don't guarantee any level of success or income, right? Not from our team, not from Beachbody, not from the coaching opportunity, because it just really depends on what you come in with. Your efforts, the diligence, the skill that you have, what you give to this. By the way, when you come in, you're going to be plugged into training. That training is self-paced. You can complete that training in 1 week, or you can complete it in 6 months, or you can complete it in a year. Or like some people, it happens, come into the business and don't even open the link because it happens. It is up to you. But here's what I can tell you. If you really give it your all, it can be a life-changing opportunity. And it's okay if you're coming in and you're just like Monica, wanting to feel better about yourself and maybe cover the grocery bill. That's cool. But just know that it all depends on what you're putting in, but you are joining a team that has everything you need to succeed. All right. Now, once you come in, what to expect as a coach? Well, you'll get an exclusive invitation to and an announcement on our private Facebook team page, which Veronica showed you what that'll look like. So we'll post a picture of you. We'll celebrate you. You'll also then get access to the New Coach Academy that we just finished talking to you about. In New Coach Academy, you're going to learn all about social media branding. You're going to learn about running challenge groups. You're going to learn about navigating that back office that Veronica touched on. You're going to learn about how to check customer orders, set up your direct deposit, how to share that you're an actual coach, like we call it coming out of the coaching closet. Like, you're going to learn all these things. We're going to walk you through. So don't worry. You're not going to just be thrown into this and be like, good luck, figure it out. We've got a system for you, and we're going to ready to plug you in, which, by the way, I want you guys to realize that it may have taken me 6 years to accomplish what I have, almost 8 years in the business. And you saw my sister come in 4 years later, 3 years and almost 4 years later, and how fast she caught up to me. And now we're both elite coaches running, mega businesses. She matched her teaching income. It's because she was able to be plugged into this same system, and it worked for her, and she just applied it. And she's not the only one on our team. So know that it's just a matter of how fast you want to go. And as your upline coaches and your upline team, you're never going to get the pressure of us of, well, because success for you may be defined very different than what success for me is. So you're never going to be pressured to go faster, that you're not doing enough, and so on and so forth. We will always celebrate you where you're at and with what you want out of this business. But we are going to help you define that, and we'll work towards that together. And the last thing you'll be getting is also an invitation to our Slim Down to Summer Challenge group, or any other challenge group that your coach who invited you here may be running or participating in. You'll have full access to all of that. And that's about it, folks. That is our team. So let me tell you real quick how you can get signed up. Okay, because there's two possible ways to get signed up. You can literally just like sign up as a coach, pay the $39.95 fee, and boom, you're a coach, but you have no tools, right? Because you don't have BLD, you don't have your Shakeology, you don't have anything. That is not the wise way to do it. My suggestion is, some of you guys may be in here and you're already a challenger in a challenge group and you've purchased a challenge pack. Well, the exciting part is that when you sign up, you will pay the $40 and then you'll fill out an online form getting your $40 reimbursed right back to you. That's an incentivized program that we have, that when you put skin in the game, you're getting results and you decide, you know what, I'm going to continue on this, either commit to my journey 100% long term, right? Not yo-yoing, not just a challenge and then walking away, but committing to it. Then you can become a discount coach and save the 25% that we talked about. But if you don't have a challenge pack yet, right? You're coming into this and you're like, I'm thinking about starting the workouts. I'm thinking about Shakeology. I'm thinking about this. You're able to purchase a challenge pack. And if you simultaneously sign up as a coach, that $40 at checkout is waived, making the startup of your business free. Veronica talked about, and I put this in the chat while she was talking, I was in the group and I put it in the chat, like $50,000 investment versus $15.95, because $15.95 a month is what it costs to keep this business running, to get the overhead basically, to keep your coach online office active and running, to have access to all the things that we just finished talking about, and to be a part of our team and our new coach academy team page and all that good stuff. That's peanuts. It really is. But tonight, I hope that we answered your questions. I hope that somehow, some way, in Veronica sharing her mess, me sharing my mess, that you're able to highlight your mess in your life, what you want to change, and know that you can turn that mess into your message, because we all have that power. And wherever we are right now, whatever it is that's pulling you to this, you're not stuck there. All of us have the ability to evolve and change. In fact, I've always been taught that if you're not in a constant state of growth, by default, you're in a state of decay, meaning you're supposed to evolve, you're supposed to change, you're supposed to get uncomfortable. So while becoming a coach and starting something new can be scary, I never forget what it felt like signing up as a coach. I never forget everything, all the emotions that went into getting started. So I carry that with me every time I talk to new coaches. Just know that the pain of remaining the same is way worse to me than taking the chance. And taking the chance, jumping, and finding your wings. So we hope that you are the next. Oh, I just took off my shadow. We hope that
what the hell is she doing?
I have my hair. Like, yeah. We hope that you are. I don't know why I did that. We hope that you're the
Took off my bra, like.
on our team, or else chancletazo. No, I'm kidding. Welcome to Diesel Core. We are a hot mess, but we're a lot of fun. And we hope to see you announced as the next coach in our team. Thank you for joining us tonight. Any questions, like I said, laid back environment, ask it in the group page, message one of us, message your coach. We'll get it answered and get you signed up. Thank you so much. Have a good night.